basketball fans, it's Saturday afternoon and you're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll watch the Portland Trail Blazers in this one as they go up against the Los Angeles Clippers. Hello, everyone. With Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from our Hall of Famer on the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, when LaMarcus Aldridge left the Blazers for San Antonio in 2015, most expected a rebuild in Portland. But Blazers GM Neil Olshey said there was never going to be any bottoming out. There was development. We brought in quality, undervalued players, and they've begun to thrive in our system and our culture. Kevin, they have reason to be proud in Portland.
Indeed, there is. Thanks, David. And the Clippers starting five. Leonard down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And it's George in at the 3 spot. And for the Trailblazers, pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Hezonja at the 4 and Whiteside at the 5. And it's Hood in at the 3. There should be plenty of fireworks out in the backcourt tonight in this one. Of the guards you played alongside, who is the best combination passer scorer?
Oh, man, Kev, you put me on the hot seat. That's a tough one. I just got to give everybody
you played with a lot
shout
of them,
out.
though, didn't you? Huh?
I know, man. I didn't know it was going to be a test today. I got to go with my boy Rod Strickland when I played with him at the Wizards. I think he's the best finisher ever, and he led the league in assists. My boy Jay Will, shout out to White Chocolate. I mean, he is one of the most creative players I ever played with, but he could shoot it from deep. He was a guy that liked to shoot it from Curry Land, and he could pass it. And then lastly, I'd have to, of course, go with my man Mike Bibby. Mike Bibby could do it all. So I've been blessed to play and fortunate to play with some great scorers and combination passers in this league. 3 terrific names.
And that'll start us off already. You can feel the tension in this arena.
Oh, man, these fans are pumped. I expect them to be loud tonight. Should be a great game.
George with the bucket.
Just phenomenal awareness by Beverly, just dishing the ball to the wide open man easily.
And here's Portland. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Drops in the tray. Lillard's got 5 now.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. The great competition going on. That's what makes a matchup like this so much fun to watch.
The shot by George, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
One of the top 10 shooting guards in the NBA, C.J. McCollum. I mean, you wonder, though, would he be even better lined up as a point guard? I'm not sure. But his defense has been his shortcoming. At 6'3", his size is better suited for the 1.
Portland shooting their first free throws of this game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. See, Webb, you think about McCollum as a point guard. His assists have dropped 3 seasons running.
Yeah, Kevin, but that's because his role on this team is to score. I mean, he's so skilled. He can get other guys involved, but you want him putting it in the bucket. Who's a better option than him besides Dame Lillard? On another team, though, with the chance to start at point guard, I wouldn't mind seeing that adjustment.
No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
And the development of Damian Lillard helping propel this Blazers team to the top of the West.
Yeah, GA, that's why they call him Logo Lillard. And he's only extending his range. I mean, another playoff dagger in his resume. Finishing off OKC and then waving goodbye. Dame time is right now.
Here's McCollum. Paul George making his last shot. And it's McCollum off the drive. Kept alive. The Clippers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
Even when contact comes Beverly's way, I mean, he's a pro at finishing, absorbing it so well on these shots.
And Lillard gets double teamed to the paint. And Hood the bucket on the assist by Lillard.
Oh, great flow to that possession. 2 players totally in sync with each other.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Now the pass to George. Williams scanning the floor. Here's Harrell, and Whiteside sends it back, and he's able to get it back. They grab their own miss. Shooting foul. As the whistle blows, he'll shoot 2 free throws. They get Hassan Whiteside.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Los Angeles shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one at the line is good. A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have 2 elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny.
And after the Blazers got swept in the first round in 2018, many said they needed to blow it up. Instead, they stayed with it. 52 wins, a 3 seed in the West.
Yeah, they just had the patience to keep building, adding pieces, and developing. I mean, this team is going in the right direction.
LA has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Beverly against Lillard. Here's Beverly. 6 on the shot clock. Williams against Lillard. But they get it back. Leonard kicks to Williams. Floats it up there for Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And, Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some
Impressive.
thunder. Yeah. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Nurkic checked in for Whiteside. Tolliver comes in for Hezonja. Little, he's checked in for Hood. And it's Kent Bazemore in for C.J. McCollum. The Clippers also changing it up. Zubac is checked in for Harrell. JaMychal Green comes in for Leonard. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Williams. Now here's Bazemore. Three-pointer. Here's Nurkic. Tries again, and it's good on the layup.
Oh, well, a big reason Nurkic impacts games is for that ability right there, staying active on the glass at both ends, converting the second chances.
Here's Zubac. Pass to Shamet. With some arc, and that one good.
Challenging the bigger defender, cutting him down to size with that one.
Oh, that's a tough shot. I mean, you have to have confidence in your abilities to even take it.
Now, here's Bazemore. Knocks it loose. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Pass to Shamet. Fires from 14. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Now here's Little. Passes to Bazemore. And again, it's Portland converting.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Oh, you know what it is, Greg. One play at a time. That's got to be the mindset, especially in such a tight game.
Fades away. The shot, no good. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. To the middle, Tolliver, and he jams it with authority.
He creates so much offense. I mean, Lillard puts intense pressure on the defense to react.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. George finds Zubats. Here's Beverly. Back to Zubats. They kick it out to Green. Here's Shamet. And again, it's the Clippers missing. From deep three-point range. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Trailblazers lead by 4. From Portland, we're back in a moment. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And from Portland, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Well, yeah, this is their preferred pace, and it's gotten them out to an early lead.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Beverly and Shamet in the backcourt together. Green is out there with Paul George, and it's Zubats in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's George, following the score by Damian Lillard. Three-pointer, the offensive rebound.
Well, he hasn't been able to do much damage outside the three-point line. Just one triple for him in the game, and that was back in the first quarter.
There's the pass to Bazemore. No good with the triple. Clippers trail by 6. And perhaps the most shocking news of the NBA offseason, Greg, the trade of Paul George. Nobody saw that coming.
Took a ransom of draft picks to get him off the Thunder. Kawhi Leonard recruited him to join him on the Clippers, and Paul obliged by demanding a trade. Came together quickly and caused a major power shift in the West.
Here's George, following the score by Damian Lillard. They kick it out to Green. Shamet on the wing. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Beverly with the ball. From deep. Little with the rebound.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-ups.
Yeah, and I have too, which is why they're okay with it. I'm sure if he gets that kind of look again, he's going to let it fly again.
Nurkic can't hit. Clippers trail by 8. Here's George, and he drops in the layup off the glass. George has got 7 points in the game.
Just good, aggressive drive from him that time. Found a hole in the D and went straight to the rim.
Pass to Lillard. Back to Bazemore. The tray. That one doesn't drop.
Even for a player who's not a three-point specialist, I mean, that's a shot you got to knock down.
Lillard against Beverly. Pass to Zubats. Now, here's Shamet. Defense right on him. Off target with his 3. And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for the Portland Trail Blazers. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. Here's Collins, and the rejection by Zubats. And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles. George has got the ball.
And hustle paying off there for George in the open court. Gets up court in a flash and finishes before the D can even react.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Whiteside's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Mario Hezonja comes in for Zach Collins. Rodney Hood's checked in for Little. And McCollum subbed in for Kent Bazemore. The Clippers also making some changes. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Zubats. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Green. Lou Williams is subbed in for Patrick Beverley.
Way to get it, Hassan!
You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone. Ooh, that is a tough shot.
Williams passes to Harrell. Back to Williams. George looking over the floor. He kicks it to Harrell. Pass to Shamet. Yep, it counts. Portland leading by 4.
Get CJ!
McCollum finds Whiteside. 1:36 left in the first half. That's a 2 from Lillard. The Trailblazers rebound. Hezonja. Great D that time from Leonard.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Harrell.
A flat-out loss of concentration. That kind of turnover will drive a coach crazy.
Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Damian Lillard. 1:21 left to play here in the half. McCollum kicks to Whiteside. Hood up top. He's defended by Harrell. It's Hezonja in the corner. Whiteside trying to break free. Hezonja's shot is off. Clippers trail by 4. Shamet the pass to George. From the corner. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. George has got 11 points.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Hood kicks to McCollum. Back to Hood. The pass to Tolliver. And it's Shamet with the rebound. Los Angeles has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's George.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
Pass to Hezonja. Back to McCollum. Over Williams. McCollum no good. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. Offline from the top of the key. Now Hezonja. And the first half comes to a close in a tie game. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Well, one thing happened that really helped them out. Their bench came in and played absolutely beautiful. Gave them a huge boost. Not just trying to hold court, but actually putting points on the scoreboard. These guys should be starting, Ernie.
Kenny, what's your take on the Clippers?
I was surprised on how comfortable they seemed here on the road. The hostile crowd, that didn't bother them at all. And I want to see if they can keep that up in the second half.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. It's been one outstanding game from George.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
Yeah, Greg, this game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. And so Beverly will bring it up for Los Angeles. How great the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Hezonja at the 4 and Whiteside at the 5. And it's Hood in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Portland.
The anticipation from Hood. That's just fantastic work, reading the situation and leaping up to swat it away.
Whiteside, no good.
Nothing less than that kind of defense will cut it against him. That's just great work inside.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Lou Williams won 6th Man of the Year for the 3rd time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Lillard. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
The Clippers have gone 3 of 4 so far in the 3rd quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Now here's Beverly. Hezonja defending. Leonard against McCollum. Nobody near Leonard. Again, Los Angeles.
Well, that makes them 4 for 5. I mean, I think that's pretty good numbers. I mean, they've got to be pleased with how things are playing off so far.
Now a timeout called by Portland. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Nurkic checked in for Whiteside. Collins comes in for Hezonja. Little, he's checked in for Hood, and it's Kent Bazemore in for McCollum. Here's Williams, and he uses the glass on the layup. Williams has got the lead up to 4 now for Los Angeles. You know what, Chris? Speed at any position is so vital. Who are the fastest big guys in the game right now that you admire and just can't believe how they go baseline to baseline?
Oh, but the first one that comes to mind is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's a Greek freak, but he's a freak of nature in basketball. His speed, his length, his athletic ability. You love seeing him. And I say a close second, Anthony Davis. And don't forget about Willie Cauley-Stein. I mean, a lot of guys that love running the floor and put that pressure on the defense every time by getting out.
Bazemore dishes to Lillard. Outside Collins. Little with the ball. Now Green defending. Little can't hit. Clippers leading by 6. Here's Leonard. Score the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And there's been a drop-off in their defense since halftime. I mean, they don't nearly have the same energy they did in the first half.
Little, and it's Little finishing it off.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Now here's Williams. From outside, off the mark. Lillard surveying the D. Kicks it to Bazemore. Pass to Nurkic. And finished off by Nurkic.
Oh, and all Nurkic needs is good positioning. Once he has this, dunking is easy.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
Yeah, the Blazers boasting one of the game's elite backcourts in Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. I mean, other than the Splash Brothers, these two have the most points and three-pointers of any duo over the last handful of seasons.
Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for the Trailblazers. And the Clippers with a change here, too. Shamet's checked in. Beverly against Lillard. Beverly finds Leonard. Fader on the way. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket. And the Blazers used to stagger Lillard and McCollum's minutes. Chris, now they've embraced these two playing together more often.
Yeah, and they should, Kevin. I mean, they're both standing about 6'3", so defensively they give up a little height. But on their offensive end, the firepower that they bring to bear is something to watch.
And so Beverly will bring it up for the Clippers. 6-point lead. Passes it to Zubac. Dishes to Beverly. Clock at 6. Softly drops in the floater. Beverly's got his second bucket.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
Lillard the pass to Bazemore. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Bazemore's got 7 points.
That's good instincts as a distributor. I mean, Lillard on point with the pass.
Lillard against Beverly. And the rejection by Collins. And that's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. The Trailblazers making a switch here. McCollum's checked in. Harrell, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Shamet on the wing. He's off on that one. Bazemore against Green. And Bazemore kicks to McCollum. And here's Bazemore over Green. No good there. The third quarter comes to a close. Clippers ahead. They lead by 5. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Well, how about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
Three tenths quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Trailblazers trail by 5. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Shamet and George at the 2 and the 3. Under down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. And it's Beverly in at the point. McCollum no good. And for the Clippers, they're shooting straight 49% from the field. And the pass to Shamet. Back to Beverly. Plays it up and banks it in. And the Clippers lead by 7.
It seems like they found their rhythm offensively, and they're shooting the ball much better out of the break.
And a wide open look for Hood. The three-pointer off the mark. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up. Nobody near George. Hassan Whiteside grabs the miss. Whiteside's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Get it going.
McCollum outside. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Shot clock at 6.
Look at the clock.
Good on the baseline, Jay.
Such a smart offensive player. When McCollum sees these shots open up, he doesn't think twice about firing.
McCollum against Beverly. Here's the floater. Leonard, the open look. And it's Portland with the rebound. Whiteside's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. McCollum against Beverly. McCollum left side. There's the triple. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. Lillard's checked in for Anthony Tolliver. And a switch here also for the Clippers. Williams, he's checked in for Landry Shamet. Leonard against Lillard. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The 3 from McCollum.
I don't know if it's been the main factor, but his off night has definitely been one factor here.
And it's been talked about for some time, but last summer the Heat finally decided to pull the trigger on Hassan Whiteside. Traded to Portland for Leonard and Harkless. Whiteside and the Heat had soured on each other in the trade, a chance for both sides to have a fresh start.
2 shots.
No good on that one.
Well, he might not be blocking 4 shots a game anymore, but Hassan Whiteside's still a factor in the paint defensively.
He hits the second from the line. And with Whiteside, his size and length set him apart from others defensively. Greg, even at the center position.
You just can't ignore the reach and coverage that Whiteside has when he's in the paint. Even though the block numbers aren't what they once were, the amount of shots he changes is still very high.
Now, here's Lillard, following the miss by Lou Williams. McCollum kicks to Hood. Beyond the arc, hits the three-point bomb.
You can't allow Hood to get comfortable from there. He loves getting the chance to shoot the 3 ball.
Beverly against McCollum. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And trying for the go-ahead basket, it doesn't go in.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
Hazonia kicks to McCollum. Hazonia trying to free himself up. McCollum, no good.
His field goal percentage has dipped this quarter. I mean, his movement has to be better. He has to find the open spots on the floor.
Portland trailing here. Here's Hazonia. Lillard from outside falls right in. He is 8 for 11 with that shot.
He wants the ball. They want him to have the ball. And as usual, he comes through in the clutch.
Here's Beverly, and he converts the layup. Beverly's got the game tied up here for Los Angeles.
I mean, just the silky shot from Beverly. He's so good at hitting these important shots.
That's a 2 from Lillard, and it's Hazonia with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And here's Beverly. He brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Leonard dishes to Harrell. From downtown. The shot by George, no good. The Trailblazers have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. And it's Lillard missing for Los Angeles. They've gone just 2 of 8 in this fourth quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Offensive rebound. Harrell, that's good. And the Clippers lead by 2.
And that's why you never stop working in the paint at either end of the floor.
1:24 left to play in the final quarter. Down low, here's Whiteside. Good. Great play by Lillard to set it up. Lillard's got 6 assists in the game.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Coach trusts him to make winning plays down the stretch. I mean, because he's shown that ability time and time and time again.
Now here's Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And he moves so well. When Leonard drives the lane, it's pretty much a guaranteed bucket. Terrific body control, and he plays with the ultimate force.
Lillard against Leonard. And it's Lillard missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and gotten the perfect position to alter the shot.
Now here's Hood. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. And the basket by McCollum.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Yeah, he approached that one with total confidence. He has what it takes to come through in the clutch.
And the Clippers call time here. They're behind by 1. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Damian Lillard.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Doc Rivers talking to the team. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
I got your help.
Here's George. It's in!
Timeout.
Man, this guy is a scoring machine. I mean, I know I'm not the only one to describe him that way.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're down by 1. There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, and looking at how much time they have, I think it's likely we'll see them try to get a good look and score quickly.
There's 31 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
Timeout. Start it.
29 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Hey, who's watching them?
Now, here's Lillard. And Damian Lillard throws it down hard.
And clutch is Lillard's middle name. Time and time again. This guy comes through for his squad.
And the Clippers call time here. They trail by 1. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
Yeah, always intriguing to see what a coach draws up in this situation.
Yeah, down by 1. You'd expect them to go for 2 here unless they get something wide open on the perimeter.
"20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. The three from Leonard. Can't knock in the three. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
And so they foul intentionally.
Two.
He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2.
What you love about Lillard is his drive. He wants to keep improving. He's a super competitive player.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
And it's going to come down to a 3-point attempt. I mean, what a huge moment to come through at the line.
Pass to Beverly. There's the 3. Misses the tray. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Two shots.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
Oh, you got to just have a sense of calm at the line. He has it here, and he just put the game to bed.
So the Trailblazers win it. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Damian, it looks like this team's progress can be measured by your improvement at the defensive end. Do we see that tonight?
We made some mistakes like every other basketball team does, but I think we did a great job of making adjustments. We got a little more physical. We did a great job of that.
And that led to a big win, Damian. Thanks for your time, man. Kevin?